So now that you have had the chance to do a little bit of right hand technique practice for finger picking, now's the time when we're going to add chords in the left hand and some different patterns in our right hand, because with finger picking you have a lot of freedom to develop your own kinds of patterns and rhythms and different sounds, different styles, so you'll get a chance to do that a little bit. Now, you're going to be working with what I'm calling the finger picking packet, which is some materials that my old guitar teacher put together for me. On the very front page are a series of exercises or little mini melodies that he put together. Every exercise, all 6 of them on this page, uses the exact same chord progression in the left hand. So your first task is to get comfortable with that chord progression, and he's got kind of the chord diagrams on the top of the page here. They aren't written in as chords, it's written as tab, but once you've memorized it, you won't have to pay attention to that as much. Okay, so the way the left hand progression works, it starts off with what I'm going to call a modified C chord, where it's like a C half chord. You're only using 2 fingers. Okay. From here, the pattern moves to a D minor chord. Then it goes back to that modified C, and then finishes up on, I'm not exactly sure what. I think I figured out at one point that it was some sort of a modified G chord. It just uses 1 finger, 1st fret, 3rd string. Okay, and then you finish up with this cool mini bar. So that's the left hand. Modified C, D minor, modified C, modified G, and then a little ending pattern. Okay, and you could read that tab as well and study the chord diagrams on the top of the page. After that chord progression is comfortable, every exercise uses a different PIMA pattern, and so using your tablature reading skills, you'll go through and practice all of these. The first one doesn't use the thumb at all, it's just IMA practice, and my teacher wrote down IMA, so you remember that you're using 1 finger for each string, and you'll do something like this. That's it. Okay. The second one is going to add the thumb in, and you're going to do what's called a chord pull with the right hand. So it's going to sound a little bit like. And then you'll continue on from there. Some patterns you'll go PIMA, some patterns you'll do PIMAMI and come back down. Some patterns you'll do PI pull, PI pull. So you get a chance to do all different types of right hand patterns. Again, the left hand always stays the same. Practice through all 6 of these, get comfortable with all of them, and then for your quiz I'm going to choose 2. Okay, so learn them all, and then I will choose 2 for you to play for me. All right. After this, you'll have had a lot of experience with the right hand, a lot of experience incorporating finger picking into some chord progressions. So from there, you'll get to go on and choose any song that you'd like that you can incorporate some finger picking into and practice and perform for the class. I have a few options where there's some finger picking patterns that are written out. Landslide by Fleetwood Mac or the Dixie Chicks. Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. There's a couple Spanish classical pieces that you can use finger picking for that are written out in tab that are part of this packet. Or anything you find on Ultimate Guitar is fair game. If something's written out with chord symbols, you get to be a little bit creative in that you just do that left-hand chord and you get to choose the finger picking pattern that you think sounds good. So maybe you listen to a recording and try and determine what the finger picking pattern is that the artist is using, or maybe you just come up with your own. And that's kind of the fun of it. You get to be a little bit creative here. All right? Have fun.